invited me to go camping with her family under the pretenses that they had room for me in their RV. When we got to the campsite, I was like, where do I get to sleep? And they all go, oh, you get to sleep in that shelf up there. And I laughed, but they did not. And they explained to me that the shelf could totally hold my weight, so they figured that I could sleep there. And so my 6'5", muscly uncle picked me up like I was a piece of carry-on baggage, and he stuck me on the shelf. I couldn't get back down by myself, and so I was stuck there all night. Every time I exhaled, the whole plastic beneath me would shudder, and so I spent the whole night trying really hard not to breathe, but I had to pee so bad. And at 6 a.m., my boy cousin snuck into the RV to try and scare us, but joke was on him because I was already awake, and I launched myself off the shelf at him, and I was like, help me, I have to pee! And he didn't catch me because he's skinny, but he did break my fall.
Story time on how dating a white boy landed me in jail. Okay, so boom, let's get right into it. So I'm a black woman and I'm 23 years old. My Caucasian boyfriend is 25 years old and we've been together for about 5 months. So this next information might seem mean, but it's necessary to understand this story. My Caucasian boyfriend was absolutely broke, jobless, carless, and living with his parents. But of course, he lied to me about all of that, and I didn't find out until he started staying at my apartment every single day. I would ask him, where's your car? And he would say, I got into an accident and it's in the shop. I would ask, how come you're here and not working? And he would say he works from home. I would even ask, how come you're never at your place and we always hang out at my place? He said my place is just more homey and clean because I'm a girl. Okay, so this is how the police gets involved. I came home from work and he was on the couch playing games doing nothing. And the first thing he says to me is, I'm hungry, there's no food. Y'all know where this is going. Like for part 2. Part 2 on how dating a white boy landed me in jail. Okay, so boom, like I said, we established that my Caucasian boyfriend was absolutely broke, jobless, carless, and living with his parents. I came home from work and he was on a couch playing games doing nothing. And the first thing he says to me is, I'm hungry, there's no food. Not a, hey baby, how was work baby, how was your day? Nope, just I'm hungry and there's no food. I get annoyed because I've been dealing with this for 3 months, so I tell him go get some food or go make some food yourself. Then he said, you keep talking like that and you gonna end up single. At this point, there was no holding back. I exploded. I yelled at him saying, you literally lied about who you are. You don't work, you have no money, no car, and you tried to forcefully move yourself into my place without my permission. You're lucky you're not single. Matter of fact, you're single now, pack your stuff and get out. He gets mad and starts breaking everything. Like for part 3. Part 3 on how dating a white boy landed me in jail. Okay, so boom, like I said, I break up with my Caucasian boyfriend and he is not having it. He starts breaking everything. And he starts calling me all types of names that's mad disrespectful. He won't stop and I get scared, so I call the cops. I have a degree and a good paying job, so I live in a suburban area. That's how I met him in the first place. So in my area, the cops come in less than 5 minutes. When I opened the door for the cops, he was still breaking things and screaming at me. But the cops immediately handcuffed me and separated me from my ex. Then they asked me, why am I disturbing the peace at his home? Yeah, they assumed that this was his place and not mine. I was just a mad, crazy girlfriend. Surely a woman of color can't afford this place. I tried to explain that it was him who was invading and trashing my place, but they put me in jail for a day. Until the next day where they figured out that he was actually the problem in my home. Like for part 4. Part 4 on how dating a white boy landed me in jail. Okay, so boom, like I said, I spent a day in jail until they realized that he was the problem and that was my place. They took me back home and escorted him out of my place. Yeah, he literally stayed there. Mind you, they never handcuffed him, they only talked to him. They finally took him out my place, something they should have done the first time. And I never talked to my ex again, no matter how hard he's been trying. Wish me luck on my case because I'm coming for that department.
I went home with this guy that I thought I liked, but when he took me to his place, it was an old church. He lived in the basement of an old church. I'm talking brick, I'm talking stained glass windows. He had like this big round heavy door that you had to walk through to get in, and then he took me down the stairs like we were in Phantom of the Opera, and he thought it was this cool bachelor pad, and I was like, no, this is like the pit of despair from The Princess Bride, and you are either a serial killer or a vampire serial killer, which is the worst kind of vampire according to Vampire Diaries. So I went into his bathroom and I gave myself a pep talk in the mirror. I was like, you can do this. He's probably not going to kill you. But then I had an anxiety attack on his couch because I was like, this man is definitely going to kill me down here. He was like, whoa, I didn't sign up for this. And then he pulled the classic man move of pretending to be asleep. So I watched a movie on his TV and went home. One time I was hanging out with a group of friends, and this guy who'd been batting 0 with me for 9 months tried to touch my legs, and I saw him going for it, and I said, dude, don't touch my legs. And he took that as a challenge of some kind, and so he kept trying to touch my legs, and I kept saying, don't touch my legs, and he decided that was okay because he was flirting, but when I kept shoving him off me, he picked me up and threw me over his shoulder, which is a very bad angle to fart on someone. So instead of farting on him, I just bit him as hard as I could in the back, and I kept biting down until he screamed and dropped me, and I was like, no means no, dude. And he was like, oh, don't say it like that, it wasn't like that. And I said, oh, what was it like then? Because I told you not to touch me, and then you did touch me. But he was such a baby about it the whole rest of the night. He was whining, I can't believe she bit me, it hurts so bad, there are teeth marks in my back, I can't believe she bit me. And I was just like, dude, if that's how you're gonna respond to one little bite, I assure you, you do not want to date me.
I didn't want to do this video because I woke up with a big bump on my face and it looked like I got botched lip fillers. I'm pretty sure I know why, because I'm stressed because my aunt's truck got stolen from her driveway on Sunday night. And we were up till like 2 in the morning waiting for the police to show up. They don't show up. We waited all day Monday. They don't show up. So we're like, you know what? Let's go to the police station. Apparently they're only there when I'm running late and I'm trying to speed. On the way back from the police station, we see the criminals driving my aunt's truck in the street. When I did my morning prayer this morning, I didn't pray about being in a Fast and the Furious movie. I look at my man looks at me, we look at my tia, and we're like, let's go. I'm on the phone with the police. I'm like, I got eyes on them. They're like, we got eyes on you. We're like zooming through the street. I'm like, great, when y'all gonna show up? We don't have an officer available right now, but if you locate the vehicle again, let us know.
Am I wrong for admitting I got married for money and ruining my cousin's idea of love? When I was in my second year of university, I found out I was pregnant with my current husband's baby. We weren't officially dating at the time because my husband was a pretty arrogant playboy back then who only did casual. After the initial shock and discussions on if I would keep the baby, my husband and his family were very insistent we got married since they're strong believers in a 2-parent household, and also because my father-in-law is a semi-public businessman and he thought this would reflect badly on him. I said no initially for obvious reasons, but I eventually agreed to it when my father-in-law offered to pay off all my student debt and make sure I could finish my degree after I had the baby. He offered me a lot of other financial incentives, and we have a prenup which will make sure I'll be okay if our marriage doesn't work out. Honestly, I had little hope. My husband actually changed a lot after we got married and after our daughter was born, so we've been very happily married ever since. Not many people know the real reason I got married so quickly in my family. Everyone thinks we were just really loved up and moved fast. My younger cousin is 18 and she wants to drop out of university to marry her boyfriend of 2 years.
I owed my friend Scott some money, but he was being a real douche about it. So to get back at him for being a douche, I decided to pay him back in all ones. And I went to an ice cream shop, I slipped a 50 across the counter, and I was like, can you, sir, please replace this with the 50 crispest ones you have? And he did just that. And I put them in a brown paper bag, and I gave them all to Scott. And he was like, how am I supposed to spend 50 ones? And I was like, I don't know, you'll figure it out. Well, the next week, he invited me to go shopping with him, and I was like, sure, why not? And he found something that cost just like roughly under $50, and when we get to the register, he starts counting out the ones, which I thought was hilarious at first, but then the cashier goes, wow, that's a lot of ones. And Scott looks at me and he goes, yeah, she gets them all from work. And I was like, whoa, that's not true. And Scott's like, don't be shy, there's no shame in it. And the cashier looks at Scott and goes, oh, is she a waitress? And Scott goes, nope.
In Hispanic households, there's no such thing as the cleaning lady. The kids are the cleaning lady. Since I was the oldest, I had to do everything. Like, where was the child labor laws at? No health insurance, no 401k. So I came up with a beautiful method, and I started bribing my siblings to do it. Don't come for me. I was just out here finessing the system. I've been an entrepreneur since the beginning. I sold an idea to these children. They bought it, and I made money off of it. Not even money, just my mother's love and appreciation. I would make them sign NDAs. I would be like, if you told my mother that I made you do this. Some people might be like, oh, that's lazy. No, it's capitalism.
One time I was trying on sunglasses and a man walking behind me stopped dead in his tracks, looked at me, and he just went, no. And I said, excuse me? And he was like, those glasses don't match your face shape. And I was like, excuse me? And he said, trust me, I watch America's Next Top Model. I know what I'm talking about, okay? And then he just walked away.